What's going on, Houston, Texas? We got another Friday. People are starting to make their way out of their homes. As far as for me, still waiting for the gym to open. It just continued to look like by the time this thing does end up opening, I'm gonna have my home gym. Just purchased a couple of dumbbell sets. Somebody's selling them here in Houston, so I got about 4 of those. And then I already got, barbell, still got my barbell row. Now, I have a friend coming over this weekend helping me build a squat rack. And besides that, man, all I need left is really an incline bench. And pretty much I got everything I need to hit every aspect of my body while working out. But anyways, man, we're not here to talk about me, man. We're here to talk about the Houston Texans and their new defensive coordinator, who I am name branding Anthony Exotic. Listen, I think one of the things that stuck with most people in his press conference was that he said that on third down he will be a lot more exotic. But that definitely is one of the things that I guess would stick in people. But for me, I don't just look at one thing, and I don't just allow one thing to paint the narrative of the whole picture. I think his press conference was quite interesting. The questions that they actually asked him were great because not only do they go from addressing the Kansas City Chiefs and that loss and what happened there, as you guys know, he's been coaching the defensive line, and we couldn't seem to get any pressure, right? And so besides that, anywhere from ranging from asking him about the Kansas City Chiefs to his mentorship and his goals growing up and in coaching and things of that nature. And ultimately, I feel good about this guy. I feel like this guy is going to change the face of the defense, especially when it comes to pressuring and hitting the quarterback, sacking the quarterback, and most importantly, the one stat that I think is going to increase drastically for the Houston Texans, and that will be turned over fumbles, right? What they call TFLs, tackles for loss, right? Whether it's us actually getting and recovering the ball back or actually pushing other offenses back in yardage. I think, one of the things that this Texas organization is pretty inconsistent with is actually doing that, putting other offenses in pickles. We were probably the worst defense last year when it came to teams converting in the red zone, converting in third down. And some of it obviously has to do with scheming. It does have to do with us not playing man all the time and playing zone. But I heard a very, very interesting interview with actually young Ari Gold, who was interviewing Cromartie. And I definitely wanted to see what Cromartie thought. And he talked about the importance of a corner not just being able to press and play man, but also being able to play zone. How more difficult it is to play zone, but with the right coaching, a new cornerback in the league can easily transition to not only be a good corner playing man-to-man, but also playing in the zone. Because like he said, you have to be able to mix the two up, especially when it comes to blitzing with corners, right? You're sitting in zone and you don't know where the blitz is coming. We've seen teams do that to us plenty with Deshaun Watson. Deshaun Watson has obviously increased in his knowledge of knowing where the blitz is coming. But let's be honest, against the Bills game, he was hit, he was sacked more than we would have liked, and that's what made that game close. Now, one of the things that makes me excited about Anthony Weaver is the fact that he's never really had a offense, a top, I want to say even a top 10 offense. He's the best offense that he's ever had to complement any type of defensive team that he's been able to be a big influence on has been the middle of the pack, right? When you study stats, when you study the numbers, he's never really have had a complementary offense. So everyone is really excited and hyped about the offense and all the weapons you have. Now you have Anthony Weaver, who is saying, man, look, I've been in the top 10 defense. I've had a top 5 defense. been a part of those, but it's just at the other side of the coin, right? Look, you can make offenses get off the field as much as possible, but if your offense is not producing anything when they get the ball, the defense is right back out there. And as you know, when you've seen that our offense has not worked, our defense has had to pick up the slack. And on top of that, your defense will get tired because they're on the field a whole lot. So, if you mix Anthony Weaver's mind and you begin to mix his play calling with what now O'Brien is allowing Tim Kelly to do on offense, you'll maybe not have blowouts like everyone's expecting, but you'll have time possession. We will probably be the team with the number one offense in time of possession. You've seen a glimpse of that. Week 6 against the Chiefs last year, we saw a glimpse of what that looks like when you have time of possession. Patrick Mahomes only got the ball 2 or 3 times in the second half. I mean, if you're able to do that to a player like Patrick Mahomes, you're going to win games, right? You're going to win games, and they don't necessarily need to be in the 40s or 50s. They might just be enough to get into the 30s and be able to hold them down in the teens or in the 20s. That is what excites me about Anthony Weaver, because when I look at his numbers in coaching and everything that he's had in other defensive teams, he's never had a top 10 offense. In fact, he only actually had once a middle of the pack offense. Most of the times they were in the low 20s, and basically that was mainly the reasons why those teams didn't actually make any playoff runs. But listen, we're not gonna listen to the whole 20 minutes of Anthony Weaver's press conference, but I definitely want to tune in to the very end where things get quite interesting, because he begins to talk about not only what he expects Lonnie to do for this team, but he also talks about what he expects from his other coaches and how they will help. One of the guys who I have not heard mentioned by anyone is our new outside linebackers coach, Chris Rumph.
Great day to get better. Hey, Ash, you lucky I don't play DB, but I'll pick your stuff off.
Oh, man, you play DB, I'll be dicing you up like a rotten tomato.
Man, look at here, boy.
Dicing you up like a rotten tomato.
Tell you something, they don't make them like me anymore. Let's go, Malcolm Brown. Be great today, man. Be great today. Be great today. If I turn that film on this afternoon and I see the mess I saw Tuesday, I'm just going to go ahead and give you a one-way bus ticket right on back to Dallas. I'm going to give you a mayonnaise sandwich and a glass of water and send you straight on up 35. Go, push. Oh, stop running like the doggone big old statue. Put a flame in your hand and send you to New York. Look, here, stay down. Stay down. Like a big Sasquatch. All the way through, finish on the quarterback. All the way through, finish on the quarterback. Get your eyes on the target. Finish on the quarterback. Here we go, set, go. Come on, get it. Good, come on, set, go. Come on, pump, give it. Good. Quick. Good, set, go. Pump. See it. Go. Be violent with your hands. That ain't good enough. Good, eyes up, see what you hit. Good. Hey, right here. Bam, come on, press it. Eyes below the blocker. Get my eyes in my gap. Go 1-1-1 all the way down. Start with you. Good, next.
Listen, last year our outside linebackers, to me, were atrocious, all right? Any freaking screen to the side, they were running down the seam. We were given many crazy yards on the outside. That's the reason why that Ravens game was so ugly. We couldn't get a tackle. So now they bring a guy who's coached in his college career the whole time, but he's developed players, right? Now, he didn't actually get to coach Charles Omenihu, but he is actually the one who recruited him to UT, to Texas. And so, he's very excited about having Chris Rumph as an outside linebacker coach. But the good thing about the Chris Rumph hiring is started out as a right outside linebacker. Then he actually started moving towards the defensive line. And so I think the combination of him, the combination of Chris Rumph with the linebackers, the combination of DeAnthony Lynn with the defensive backs, is going to bring a tenacity to this defense like no other. And man, you know how they used to call Jacksonville, Saxonville for that one season? We're going to have to start thinking about a name because I highly, highly, highly think that the Houston Texans will have and break a record for the most sacks in Texans history. He goes on to mention J.J. Watt's health, how important it is to have him, throughout his whole, the whole season to have him here healthy. I think that has to do with the sub packages that Weaver plans to put in place. One thing about Anthony Weaver's defense, if you really study, is that the importance of his defense actually is not the outside. It is dead in the center. And that is exactly why, and I've heard Spitz say this, I think this is why we drafted Blacklock. Because Weaver saw something in this guy. He called him twitchy. He basically, you know what I'm saying, he's not just going to, when they say twitchy, they don't mean it like the dude is twitchy like, to false starts or encroachments. They're saying, this dude, and it's not false starts for a defensive lineman, but you know what I mean. Their pressure when you study the defense is always coming from the middle. He's wanting other offenses to trigger the defensive tackles, the inside, and actually double team from the inside, so that once they double team from the inside, then he can begin to attack from the outside, and put in players like Charles Omenihu, put in players like Duke Ejiofor, put in players, and then not only that, from the outside you got Jacob Martin out there, you obviously got J.J. Watt and Merciless, but you can now begin to blitz in the corner because they're so focused on double teaming and not letting any penetration come down from the straight down the center that they're not really focused on what's coming to the outside. And if you notice with the Texans, they do that shit to us every fucking day, bro. Every fucking day. Just when we start fucking correcting one thing on the offensive line, all of a sudden they throw that one blitz from the fucking outside. There's no one to pick up the damn blitz. And now we get to see Anthony Weaver do this on our behalf. And now we get to see how other teams adjust to it. And it's going to be major, right? Because some of these quarterbacks that we're facing this year, they don't have the experience that most quarterbacks need to be able to check out a certain place, know where the check down is, and know that this blitz is coming and I need to throw it here. And that's what he means when he talks about being exotic. But anyways, man, let's get right to the last a couple of minutes of this interview and discuss it.
Coach, congratulations. Obviously, you start out the season against two really strong offenses. Does that excite you, and what are some things you're going to do to prepare for that, maybe differently than you would other teams?
It's absolutely exciting. I mean, it's an opportunity for us to put our defense out there and showcase it to the entire world and show them what we're going to be. In terms of preparation,
one thing I like about Weaver is there's nothing greater than setting a goal, writing it down, and accomplishing it. And this guy says that from early on from coaching, this is what he wanted to do. He wanted to be a defensive coordinator. So now O'Brien has given him that opportunity. He already knows the player. He isn't somebody new who the guys have to get acclimated, to see what he likes, what he doesn't like. No, this guy has been around, and players know what he likes and he doesn't like, right? Except for the people that we've already obviously drafted when it comes to Jonathan Grenard and Blacklock. But those are two grinders, high motor guys who are going to come in here and work. So I don't think they're going to give Anthony Weaver any problems. So when he talks about being excited, he's talking about all these suggestions, like Urban Meyer told him, that he's already given before, and now he's able to call the shots and actually not suggest things anymore, but actually run them and see them develop for his own eyes and see if they work and see if they don't. And that's what excites me about this season with our new DC.
That'll all be determined when we figure out exactly how this training camp situation and everything's going to go due to COVID. But we're all going to be in the same boat. Everybody have the exact same amount of preparation time. All the players involved, us, Kansas City, Baltimore. But what I can tell you is our guys will be ready to go. They'll be ready to go. They'll be chomping at the bit. And I'm sure having to play those guys in those first two games it'll be a little bit extra added motivation going into camp as well.
I think there's nothing better than I think there's nothing better than Anthony Weaver having to face the Chiefs and the Ravens back to back, because those are probably two games that he has circled and said, man, I really didn't like the way our defense looked in those two games, how they were treated. And here's an opportunity to showcase what truly this talent can do, right? This is why I feel like it's not going to be like the Mike Vrabel situation where I feel like Mike Vrabel, Cornell had a lot of hand-holding with him. And I definitely think that the hire for Chris Rumph is his hire, right? And so him going hand in hand, having all these DL coaches, even though he's gonna be over the defensive line, he's not gonna have to focus on it so much because he has so much experience in the building, and he'll be able to focus on play calling. And when you're able to just focus on play calling and can entrust and delegate to your other coaches, man, you're going to begin to shine, right? Because you can focus on the things that are working, that are not working in-game, and make those in-game adjustments. And that's what this team has not been known for, right? We've not been able to be a team that makes in-game adjustments, mainly because we're so focused on everything else, man. So, yeah.
Phil O'Brien said that you bring a lot of creativities and ideas to this defense. How much has that helped you in this virtual offseason? And what excites you most about the 2020 defense, even though it's still early?
Well, the creativity part of defensive scheming is maybe one of my favorite parts about the job. You know, you gotta love the chess match and trying to put the pieces in the right place and get free runners and hit the quarterback and do all those things. That's part of the beauty in schematics. But what's the second part of your question?
He talks about having free runners hit the quarterback. Listen, and we're gonna talk about the stats. Matter of fact, let's talk about the stats now while we're right here in this question. Because I pulled the stat for you guys. And I wanted you guys to really look at how many QB hits they had, how many forced fumbles they had, and how many sacks the defenses that he's been part of have had. Because his picture is, we're going to freaking hit the quarterback, and we're going to hit him a lot. And we're going to get our freaking defensive backs to be able to pick off this guy, because what this guy is more focused about is the hit that's coming and not the player that is open. And that's got to excite you, because we got the talent for it. And we can't continue to waste people like J.J. Watt and Merciless, especially after that contract we've given Merciless, and not freaking hit the quarterback. You know? So anyways, let's look at this. In 2012, right, he was part of the Bills defense. I think actually this was actually the Jets defense. It was ranked 8th in the league. Imagine having Texans defense ranked 8th in the league. I mean, I trade that. If you tell me that, hey, we can get this guy and be 8th in the league, I'll take that every day, right? They had 67 quarterback hits. They had 67 tackles for loss. They had 30 sacks. 16 forced fumbles, and 11 interceptions. In 2013, he then made his way to be the D-line coach with the Bills under Doug Marrone, and he was there quite a while, but we'll go over the 2013, 2014. In 2013, the Bills actually broke their own franchise records in QB sacks. Now look at this. Listen to this. In his first year with the Bills, they had 103 QB hits. They had 103 tackles for loss. So pretty much anytime that they hit the QB, it was a tackle for loss. I mean, that is crazy, bro. They had 57 sacks. 57 sacks. They had 12 forced fumbles and 23 interceptions. Listen, that interception number, the reason why it's so high is because of the amount of tackles and sacks that they have on the quarterback. We are very blessed to have a quarterback who can get sacked 6 times a game and still make a play like he did with the Bills to win a freaking playoff game. We are very fortunate to have a quarterback like that. But we definitely don't want our quarterback to be hit that way. And I'm with, him being the type of quarterback to release fast and throw it and what they call the dink and dunk. If it's going to protect and if it's going to give Deshaun Watson the longevity in this NFL, because I don't want Deshaun Watson to turn up like Andrew Luck. Now, as far as other quarterbacks that we'll be facing, hit them all damn day. Make them retire early. I don't give a damn. In 2014, listen to this. They had the fourth best defense. They just missed the playoffs. They were 9-7, right? Barely missed the playoffs. Listen to how many QB hits they had. They had 111 QB hits, 101 tackles for loss, 54 sacks, 14 forced fumbles, and 19 interceptions. Man, when you talk about a high-octane freaking defense, you're talking about Anthony. You're talking about blitzing all damn day, man. And Anthony Weaver seems to be that type of guy that's going to bring that into the team. And honestly, the last time that I saw a team that was doing that, was back when the Kubiak days when we had, Wade Phillips on the other side, and we would actually blitz. We would actually blitz all game. Most of the game, we were blitzing. And, man, it just does something to a quarterback. It just does. They don't like to be blitzed. They don't like to be hit. That they like to have the time to stand in there, examine the coverage, and then throw. They don't want to freaking be rushed to make a throw, because when they rush to make a throw, that's when the picks come, right? All right, let's keep listening. Sorry, guys. Excited over here, man.
I'm sorry.
What excites you about this 2020 defense?
I mean, everything. I'm so excited about the guys that we do have on the roster on defense right now. We have a bunch of guys who are, like I said earlier, they're dependable, they're tough, they're smart, they're passionate about ball. And I think some of the schematic changes that we've made have brought on some excitement with them. They're excited about some of the new things we're going to do and the places that we're going to put them in.
Tell me one defense that's not excited about hitting the quarterback. I mean, that's what they play for, bro. And then these young guys that we have, like Charles Omenihu, Duke Ejiofor, Jonathan Grenard, Blacklock, bro, they like popping the quarterback. When we see J.J. Watt fired up, it's when he's sacking the quarterback. The defense likes to hit the quarterback. There's no doubt of that. The second thing they like to do the most is pick the quarterback off. So I expect high energy from this defense. And man, if this defense starts getting high energy, remember that Bills game, when we turned it around on defense, then the offense started clicking. And that is what I envision with this Texans team. And hopefully this is the reason why my prediction of 13-3 record comes true.
I can't wait to see it all come to fruition, see those guys on the field.
Us too.
You guys have pressure as first-time play caller, Anthony. Who else is helping you coach the defensive line?
Well, I'm still coaching the defensive line, but Matt O'Donnell, who was with me the last couple of years, he's been helping me keep that. And then we hired an outside backers coach, Chris Rumpf, who also has experience coaching the defensive line as well. So, and then I got Romeo. Romeo has no problem jumping in. He's got, he made his hay in the league early on coaching the defensive line. So I have a bunch of help. And if there's any time that I feel like I need to delegate some of those duties, we certainly have guys on staff that can handle it.
For sure.
Sarah?
Anthony, you've mentioned Michael Jordan now a couple times. What have you learned from him just from afar about being a competitor, and have you watched?
Now this is the very interesting part, right? This is where I think that, we'll have a team that is constantly blitzing the quarterback, that constantly picking the quarterback, but that energy won't be the type of energy that brags, right? That goes into a player's phase and tells them how sucky of a day that they've had. But in between the camaraderie,
what are you saying?
In between that brotherhood that they have, they'll be very excited about what they're doing on the field, right? And that, I think, is the difference between what people are thinking, like that these people are just going to be robots and they're not going to react to having another sack that day. I think what he's going to get into is saying, look, dude, we're going to be disciplined and we're going to be about ourselves. We're going to celebrate ourselves to the expense of the other team to get them rowdied up, right? But to make it known that, hey, we're here and we're going to be here all day.
The Last Dance, and if so, what do you think about it?
I have watched The Last Dance, and Michael Jordan, for me growing up, he always kind of heard all these stories, but just to hear, from the man himself, is truly amazing. But he had a quote that it's gonna sound cocky, but when I was growing up, I kind of lived by it, and the quote was that he said, "I don't have to raise the chest bump, because when the game is over, you'll know I'm better than you. And that's how I want my guys to be. I want my guys to be confident. I want them to feel like Superman when they go in their game. But we're going to play the game the right way. We're not going to try to boast and showboat and do all those things. We're just going to play really hard together and hopefully just intimidate people with 11 guys, just waves of guys at a time. And then at the end of the game, we'll see where the pieces fall. But that's one of those quotes that I've stuck with me my entire life.
And that's what it is, man. See, when you talk about Jordan and you talk about any great player, and even myself in sports, when I've played against great competition that I know for sure they're going to influence, they're going to impact the game for their team because I know how good they are, it can go two ways, right? You can have a team fold or you can have a team rise up and answer the bell. The great teams will rise up and answer the bell, right? As you saw Kansas City do against us. Now, having a 24 lead, some of that stuff was second wins that we were giving them, right? So if you take away our causing of errors, would have the Chiefs rose up to the challenge? I don't think so. I think they would have been dead in the water. And that's what we're talking about. We're talking about getting teams dead in the water early so they're not even in this game by the time that the second half starts. And I don't think we've seen that for a while with the Houston Texans. And so it excites me to hear Anthony Weaver talk about this because, let's be honest, you want the amount of talent that we have on defense, bro. We should be popping the quarterback every freaking down and letting them know, bro, we're going to be here all damn day. The best sound effects that we've ever had have been with us hitting the quarterback and doing it all damn day. And so, man, it's definitely great to see. And he talks about the waves of players, right? The waves of 11 against 11. Meaning, I'm going to sub these players in and out so much that while you think, okay, Bradley Roby's out. So they're probably not going to blitz with a corner in this game. Boom! There comes Jalen Watkins. Boom! There comes Eric Murray. Boom! There comes Lonnie Johnson. And so I feel like that's what he's truly trying to implement on this team and basically get them to actually work together and understand, like, listen, you might not be blitzing on this particular play, but I got this other player that can blitz on this particular play. And if he gets home, man, we're all winning. We're all winning. And when he talks about, the chest pumping, when you know that you got a team on the ropes, you don't need to boast. Think about the Broncos-Texans game last year, right? Early on, we were getting popped in the mouth, and early on, that game was done, right? What happened towards the end of the game? They literally let freaking DeAndre Hopkins walk in on a touchdown. They weren't hitting Deshaun Watson as hard. Look at that. Look at the Ravens game. They let Carlos Hyde walk into the end zone. That's what happens because at the end of the day, they already know they got you beat. And the other reason why I think that that's really, truly important when it comes to the playoffs, if you've already intimidated them that way, you'll get games like you did, like a jump off like you did against against the Chiefs. Even in the Bills game. Josh Allen, look, when the time that he played us in NRG, he had to actually get out of the field injured because he had a stinger on his elbow. You think he doesn't remember that? You think he doesn't remember that this defense was the one to do that? And when we started hitting him, you don't think that that's the reason why he was tossing the fucking ball, trying to get rid of it so that he doesn't fucking come out injured of a play? These are the things that stick with players, right? And these are the things that he talks about when you say you want to intimidate a team. When you want to intimidate a team, that means that the next time they step on the damn field with you, they'll remember the last time they played you. And in their minds, if you can already defeat them walking into a damn game, the game's over, bro. The game is over as long as you do what you need to do. So I have high expectations for Anthony Weaver, man. High expectations for Chris Rumph on the outside linebackers. Seeing improvement there on the edges. High expectations for these corners and what they'll be able to do as far as interceptions, as far as blitzing. And, man, I truly do hope that it all comes together for Anthony Weaver. I would hate to have another situation like we've had in the past where things don't pay out, right? So I'm super excited, super eager to get into the NFL season. as it looks now with the COVID, man, it really looks like stuff is gonna try to open up, man. As far as the NFL, they haven't come out and announced anything, but of course they do have a contingency plan, which is they would just move those first 4 games towards the back. And I think even Fox yesterday came out and said, look, even if we have to play fake fan noises for the games, we'll do that. So they're prepared to even have empty stadiums or limited stadiums, right? Limited capacity. So it'll be definitely interesting to see how that ends up. But man, I cannot be more excited for this Texans defense. I really, truly believe that they're going to ball. And that's my spiel, baby. H-Town, kick it, take it easy. Remember, tomorrow, got a video coming. Sunday, another video coming. And then Monday, you got another video coming, man. We got a packed weekend for you guys. So make sure that you freaking like this freaking video, you subscribe to the damn video, and you share it with your friends, because we nothing but spinning the truth here on this channel. And I know you love it. I know you love it. Let's get it, baby.